Hey guys, how are we doing? Very well. In today's video I'm going to talk about all things hair dye, from tips and tricks and to my favourite products and my hair dye collection. I've got a nice little collection of hair dye that's been laying around in my room. The colours are mainly greens and blues and the odd yellow here and there. But yeah, I haven't done a hair dye video in quite a while. I don't even remember the last hair dye video that I done, to be honest with you. So I obviously dye my hair. I change my hair colour quite a bit. I've been dyeing my hair since I was 13, I would say. 13, 14. I think when I was 13 I dyed the underneath of my hair. It was quite like a in thing back when I was 13. People would dye the underneath of their hair like a brown or a red. My hair was naturally blonde and then underneath I would have like a bright red or a brown or purple. And then I got highlights when I was 14, 15 I think, and then I started working in a hairdresser and then I changed my hair a few times then. And when I was 18 I started to experiment with funky colours. The first ever colour I dyed my hair was bright pink, and then it kind of just spiraled out of control then, and I've had every colour you can think of. I've had orange, green, blue, purple, I've had the pastel colours, I've had dark colours like black, like you've seen, I've had like black with blonde in my fringe, I've had auburn, I've had yellow, so I've had like every colour. The only thing that I haven't done with my hair I think is having rainbow hair. My hair really doesn't suck up colour that well, so it would look really cool for about a week and then it would have all faded and looked really muddy and just not that cool. So I've never done rainbow just because that would be super high maintenance for me. I need to kind of keep it basic because my hair is such a diva. So what I'm going to talk about first is my hair dye collection and my favourite hair dyes that I've used over the years. I'll start off with my favourite blue. My favourite blue is this Schwarzkopf electric blue. I find that this blue stays in my hair for like the longest time. It's really long wearing, long lasting. Blues and greens stay in my hair very well, as opposed to like purples, pinks, reds. I feel like pink personally doesn't suit me. I don't know why, it just like clashes with my skin tone because I'm like cool undertoned, but I also have like pinky tones in my skin also. I have a weird mixture of skin tones. But yeah, pink really doesn't suit me. I feel like cool tones suit me a lot more, so like lilacs. Lavender is somewhat complimentary to me, even though that's more on like the pinky side. Yeah, blues and greens in my opinion, they suit me much better than warmer tones. I've had auburn hair like I was saying. I feel like that kind of suits me because I do have green eyes, so the contrast kind of works. I don't know. This is my personal favourite blue hair dye, and when I had blue hair all over I used that to start off with, and then I used something called Clairol Colour Crave. I don't actually have the colour that I used, it was called indigo, but I have daffodil, which is yellow. I haven't used this. I've opened it to see what it looks like, but yellows are good to mix with other colours, so if you've only got blue and a yellow you can make a green, or you can sort of lighten up colours as well. So if you want to lighten up a green, it's good to use. But this is quite a yellowy yellow. It's more like an orangey yellow. But yeah, I haven't used that as of yet, but I got this and the blue one, indigo, in Sainsbury's. It was on offer. I think it was like £1.50. And I full on stocked up on the blues, and I got one yellow, but they don't have them anymore. I feel like they were just getting rid of them. You still can get that product, but it's hard to get all the colours now. I feel like they're kind of slowly dying out or whatever. But yeah, when I had all blue hair, I first dyed it with the Colour Live situation, and then I started using the indigo. So if you remember when I had very dark inky blue hair, it was the Clairol indigo, but good luck trying to find that. I know it's on eBay, but yeah, I haven't repurchased it or anything like that. I've kind of relied on that Colour Live situation. Okay, I'm looking at my collection now. Where can I start? Okay, another thing that I'm not kind of using at the moment, I've got this as a backup, is the Colour Charm T10. So when you bleach your hair, it can go that kind of yellowy, brassy colour, and it's not that nice, and sometimes you cannot get it out with just silver shampoo. So something like this is so good. It's a permanent toner, so you have to use peroxide. It's only like a weak one, like a 6% if I remember rightly. But yeah, this is really good to get out yellow from your hair once you have bleached it. I wouldn't recommend using this sort of over blue stained hair or green stained hair. It's not going to do anything for you. But if you've got like yellow tones, this is very, very good. I hope you can kind of see what I'm showing you. I don't know if the light is bouncing off of these things. I think it is, but oh well. So while we're on the train of like colour correcting, so I just showed you like one of my favourite toners, which was the Wella Colour Charm T. What was it again? T10. So I have this. Obviously my hair is not orangey red, but this is Directions Flame, and I have this as a backup for when I want to change hair colours when I have blue or green hair. So what you can do when you have blue or green hair and you sort of wash it out as much as you most possibly can with Head and Shoulders. Head and Shoulders is a godsend when you want to strip your colour out. Yeah, get it as light as you can, then maybe bleach it, but there's a chance, okay, no, there's not just a chance, it's inevitable that you will have a bluey green tinge to your hair. If you mix a teeny, and I mean teeny bit, like just a dollop, this stuff is so pigmented, it's so strong, but if you mix a teeny bit of this with conditioner, put it all over your hair for 5 minutes, wash it out, it will get rid of the staining because it's a sort of colour correcting situation. So if you look at the colour wheel, what is opposite of blue and green is orange and red. This is like a orangey red colour, so it corrects both. In my opinion, it really works for me. So if you ever have like a staining situation with green or blue, try and colour correct it with a Directions or any other brand, Crazy Colour, Manic Panic, whatever. You might have like a red or an orange on hand. Really, really dilute it though, otherwise you're going to end up with a gingery hair and then you're back to square one because then you've got to try and colour correct that. But yeah, it's a bit of trial and error. I've definitely done too much and too little in the past, but I think I have like the correct amount now. It's literally just like a scoop, like a dollop into conditioner, proper mix it up, and yeah, don't leave it on too long either because then you're going to end up with staining from the opposite side of what you want. So but yeah, that will kind of colour correct you into like a beige blonde if you get it right. So that's a top tip from me. Okay, what else can I show you guys? Ooh, interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. So I have this, it's called Colour Psycho semi-permanent hair colour. I personally had never heard of it before. I was shopping for eyeshadow palettes and then I found this on some random makeup website and I was like, okay, I'll get that, because this was when I had yellow hair. How long ago did I have yellow hair now? Was it this year? I don't remember. But I had neon-ish yellow hair and I kind of wanted to use like other yellows. I was trying all the yellows that I could possibly try. It smells amazing. It kind of smells like Arctic Fox. I'm going to talk about Arctic Fox in a minute because holy shit, if you've ever had Arctic Fox you know how good that smells. But this is like a weak Arctic Fox smell, I would say. I cannot get any out. There's barely anything left in this, to be honest. This is okay. It's not like the most amazing hair dye I've ever had, to be honest with you. I mean, it just does the job. It's got nothing special to it when it comes to longevity or anything. It just smells nice, but yeah, I wouldn't like rave about it, but it's not disappointing either. It's just like meh. Okay, the next one I want to talk about in my collection is Colour Freedom Green Emerald. I use this for this side of my hair. I haven't for this dyeing session, so I feel myself dyeing my hair earlier. This is a fresh dye. I'll talk about that in a second though. But the first time I did split hair, I basically obviously split my hair. This side's blue, this side's green, and I mixed this with this. I'll talk about this in a second, but this is Slime Light by Bleach. Anyway, Colour Freedom stuff, for the most part, I've had a couple of dodgy colours. I can't remember which ones. I think the purples are kind of dodgy because they have a habit of going green after they fade a little, but the greens and the blues are, ooh, they're permanent. Like they're literally, they do not come out. They are pigmented and oh, I love this. So this is quite a dark green. I don't know, yeah, you're not really going to see it from there, to be honest, but it is very, very dark. I'm going to end up staining my hands doing this, but let me just jab it. So I don't know if you're going to see it on my finger, but it is quite a dark forest green, I would say. It's called Green Emerald, but it's a forest green, I would say. Like, it's quite dark, but it's green. It's not like black or anything. Okay, so let's talk about Bleach London. I've had my fair share of Bleach London hair dyes. These, you can get these in Boots, but there's other websites that are now doing them. I think Superdrug is now doing Bleach London. Cult Beauty is. Not sure where else. But I am quite an advocate for Bleach London personally. They have an amazing selection of hair dyes, and it's not your run-of-your-mill sort of like green, blue, purple, pink, done. No, they have like variations and creative ones. So they've got one called Bellini, which is like this, what even is it? It's like a purpley blue grey colour, I don't know. But they have all these funky hair dyes that are, you know, greens, blues, reds, whatever, but they have like a uniqueness to them. So we've got this one here, Slime Light, which is like, it's kind of like this, but it's a little bit more to the yellow side. So I don't know if you're going to see it in there, but it is just fluorescent highlighter greeny yellow. It is stunning. So I used this with this the first time I did split hair. I've got Manic Panic on this side at the moment though. This combination, so it was mainly this, it was like 3/4 this and then a dollop of this, and they work together so well. But I highly recommend looking at the shade chart or what shades they have for Bleach London. They have this amazing one called Smoky Rose, and then they have Rose Gold. They have the Big Pink, was it Big Pink, something like that, which is like fluorescent pink. But yeah, I've used quite a few of them. I've gone through my fair share of Bleach London, and they last quite long. They haven't got like the ultimate staying power in my opinion. Ooh, in my opinion this has like the most ultimate staying power for me, and then I would say this is like a 7 out of 10 when it comes to staying power, and then this is like a 9 or something like that. The next one I want to talk about is Lagoon Blue by Directions. This is my first time actually using this shade from Directions. I am a huge Directions advocate as well. I've been using La Riche Directions for years and years and years. I've pretty much tried every colour from them also. Yeah, 100%. I think I've tried almost every colour apart from the blues, because I've always settled for this one, because I found that was my favourite when I started dyeing my hair blue, because I've dyed my hair blue a few times throughout my life. I think it might be 3 times now, 4 times, I'm not sure. But yeah, I've never really delved into using Directions blue, because again I found that one, and I tried this one earlier today, so I will insert clips of me dyeing my hair soon. I'm going to get onto that in a mo once I've gone through my collection here. But I had a kind of hard time with this. It wasn't as strong or pigmented as I wanted it to be. Maybe I just need a darker one from them, because I believe Lagoon Blue is, it looks quite dark there, but it's more of like a, it's not pastel, but it's not like inky blue. It just wasn't saturating right, so I had to use a mixture of other things while I was at it type thing. But yeah, apart from that, I haven't really had any issues with Directions ever. When it comes to longevity, it really depends on what colour you're using. The darker the colour, the longer it's going to last. Okay, so while we're on the blue train, these are the other 2 blues that I used today on my hair to get this colour. It's a little bit patchy in places. I need to do my roots again, because I have about 2 inches of like a regrowth banding issue. So I've got my actual roots coming through, and then I've got about this much where I previously bleached it to do my roots and changed my hair to half and half, and it just needs another bleach for the colour to actually really stick to it. Otherwise, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but like to about here, it's not as vibrant as down here. So anyway, I've been talking to a hairdresser that one of my blogger friends use. Her name's Danny. I'll leave links to her blog and her Instagram down below, but she goes to this hairdresser's quite a lot, and she like loves them, and I'm just like, okay, like if a hairdresser is recommended to me, I kind of trust it somehow. Anyway, but yeah, I do my own hair and have been doing my own hair forever. I think I've only been to the hairdressers like 2 or 3 times in the past, I don't know, 10 years, because I just do my own hair. I don't know, but I'm getting to the point now where I'm just so bored of doing my own roots and stuff. It gets really tiring, really boring, and I'm starting to miss bits, and I'd rather just get it professionally done, and then I can top up the colours, you know, as time goes by, and then any time I need my roots doing, I'll just go back. So what was I even saying? I don't know, but yeah, I used these 2 today. It's Crazy Colour, Sky Blue and Capri Blue. Gorgeous colours. One is lighter than the other. This one, Capri Blue, It looks metallic. Again, you're not going to be able to see it that well. Oh, why did I do this? But it's like really metallic-y. It just looks really nice. I wish my hair... Oh, could you imagine if you could have metallic hair? I would be all over that. And I'm not talking about like grey toned colours. I mean like actual metallic, like shimmery and glittery, and oh, it would be so nice. I'm just wiping this hair dye on my pyjama bottoms. What's new? But yeah, I like crazy colour. I haven't used crazy colour that much. I've used, oh, there's this colour, what's it called, bubblegum blue and bubblegum pink or something like that. Them two look absolutely stunning. They have UV colours as well, which I really want to try, especially on this side. So they may be my next adventure. Okay, let's talk about Arctic Fox. Now this is my one and only Arctic Fox bottle that I've ever had, and it's precious to me. So this is Neon Moon, and like I was saying earlier, the smell of Arctic Fox just, oh, it is so good. Like this, without a doubt, hands fucking down, is the nicest smelling hair dye you will ever smell. Like, it's amazing. It's grapey, fruity, and it makes your hair smell amazing. So when you wash it out and you dry your hair, it's all you can smell, and it's not a bad thing. Trust me, it smells so good. Oh my god. But yeah, this is fluorescent yellow. It is so bright. You're not really going to be able to see down there, I don't think, but it is really bright. And I used this when I had yellow hair, and I mixed it with more of a other yellow. So I had Directions Daffodil, I think, so I mixed this and Directions Daffodil together, and it made such a nice colour. So you can use these sort of neon colours to really brighten up a colour. So when I dyed this side green the second time, so I've dyed it green 3 times, I think, since I've done split hair. This is the problem with semi-permanent direct dyes, like they fade out so quickly. But I mixed this with Slime Light, I think. No, I think the second time I dyed this side, it was a mixture of all of these 3. I just had an experiment and just went for it. And it made my hair smell so nice because of this. But yeah, I highly recommend Arctic Fox. Everyone raves about it. I can see why. It's just so good. It's really good. For longevity, I can't really say, because like every time I've used it, I've mixed it. Well, actually no, oh my god, the last time I did a hair dye video, I think was when I was trying this out, and this on its own doesn't really stay that well. I think it is just the shade, to be honest, because it is very bright, but it's quite a pastely colour at the same time. I think if you were to get a darker colour from Arctic Fox, like a green or a blue, it would last a long time. I really need to try that, actually. Okay, and the last one I want to talk about is really messy, because I used this today, is Manic Panic Electric Lizard. This is what is on my hair this side today. I haven't mixed it with anything else. This is solely this colour, and it is bright. It doesn't look that bright in here. Oh my god, my hands are gonna be so stained doing this video, but yeah, it doesn't actually look that bright in here, kind of, sort of. Well, in real life it's coming up brighter on my camera than it is in real life, which is maybe a good thing, I don't know. But it's more of just like a, I don't know, just a green. It's not like bright or anything. But yeah, once you wash it out and stuff, oh boy, it is so bright. So this is my first time using this colour from Manic Panic. I have used a yellow from Manic Panic. I forgot the name of it. I will write it down here. And I have used a pink from Manic Panic when I dyed my hair pink a couple of times. And Virgin Snow. I use Virgin Snow as well. That is like the OG white toner, I believe. Yeah, it's definitely an OG white toner. I'm sure maybe some of you have used it as well. But yeah, it also apparently glows under black light, and I am so excited because me and Yasmin are going to see Pete Tong on Friday. I'm filming this on Tuesday. This is probably going to be posted next week, Monday or Friday or something. I don't know when I'm posting this, but I'm hoping this will glow like a motherfucker when we go. And it's, yeah, I'm excited. This side probably won't glow because it's quite dark, but this side better glow. I better light up the whole bloody world with this hair. Okay, so that is the end of my collection. That's all the hair dyes that I have in my arsenal, or whatever you want to call it, at this precise moment in time. I just feel like it's good to have a variety, just in case you have like little complications, or you fancy going darker, or if your hair fades, you've got stuff there ready just in case. Because sometimes my hair will stay, you know, pigmented for a good few washes, and then all of a sudden after like one wash, randomly my hair will just be completely faded. It's very weird. My hair is very temperamental. I don't know. it's a diva. So going into sort of tips and tricks that I have that I've learned over the years, one, which I've already mentioned, is if you want to fade a hair colour, use Head and Shoulders or any anti-dandruff shampoo and hot water. That will strip your hair colour. It may take a few washes, but you'll notice that your hair colour will fade out a lot quicker than using normal shampoo. Another trick that I have for you, which is an absolute pain, but if you want your hair colour to last a lot longer, wash your hair in cold water, like as cold as you can handle it. Which is fine in the summer, to be honest, because it's just like, oh yes, I can't wait to wash my hair because I'll be using cold water. It's going to feel fantastic. But in winter, it's just like, holy crap, I need to wash my hair as fast as I most possibly can. Hot water opens up your cuticles in your hair, which means the colour can come out quicker. Because you're using direct dyes, it doesn't penetrate the hair as much as like a permanent hair dye would. So that's why your hair colour fades a lot quicker. And then if you use hot water, the colour's going to come out quicker. You may notice that. But yeah, it's a pain washing your hair in freezing cold water. So normally what I would do is I would have like a shower to like wash my body or whatever, come out, get dressed, wear a thick jumper, and then I wash my hair over the bath and use freezing cold water. It's not fun, but it, you know, in the long run it's a time saver, so you don't have to, you know, dye your hair as often. Another tip I have is to not use heat as much, because if you use like straighteners or curlers or whatever, that can also take out the colour. Like I was saying, heat makes your hair cuticles like open up, and there's a chance the hair colour can like, you won't notice it on your straighteners or your hair tongs or whatever, but that can kind of strip the colour out. I think Guy Tang did a video on that. If you guys watch Guy Tang, he's like, I love him. I love his hair dye videos so much. It gives me so much inspiration to be creative and colourful. But he did a video a while back about how heat can take colour out of your hair and stuff like that. So try and avoid heat. Obviously sometimes it's like you have to, especially if you have hair like me. My hair sometimes when I wake up, it's just all over the place. Like I don't know what I do in my sleep, but you know, I'll have like hair up here and then this bit will be like flicking up like this for whatever reason. Like it happens. So sometimes you do need to use heat, and that's understandable obviously. When you're using direct dyes like Bleach London or Arctic Fox or Directions, Manic Panic, whatever, you can leave that on your hair for as many hours as you like. You do not have to take it off after 15 to 20 minutes or whatever the package says. You can leave it on there for hours and hours and hours. Sometimes I leave it on overnight just because it doesn't have those harsh chemicals that a normal hair dye would have. So what I do is I'll put the dye on, I'll wrap my hair in cling film, I'll then leave it on for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And sometimes I leave it on overnight. So it really doesn't matter. You don't have to leave it on for 15 to 20 minutes and you'll get longer lasting results because it's really staining your hair. Another tip I have for you guys is you don't have to have wet hair to do these. So that's what most of the instructions say on these things. It says wash your hair, because when you do these with wet hair, your hair is diluting them. So if you can put them on dry hair, it does take a little bit longer. You may end up needing more tubs or tubes or whatever because you're doing it on dry hair. The results are longer lasting because you put it on dry hair. When I did my hair today though, I did do it on wet / damp hair because my hair really needed a good wash. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to town with washing my hair, and I did it on wet hair, but I would normally do it on dry hair for the most part anyway. And like I was saying before, wrap your hair with cling film. You do not want this stuff, whatever brand, drying out, because then that's when it starts to dry out your hair. So once you've done putting the hair dye on, wrap your hair in cling film, and that keeps the moisture within your hair, and the heat also helps the colour sort of saturate your hair. So that's a big tip. You'll look like an alien, but it's fine, don't worry about it. But then you can also go about your everyday life and you won't have to worry about putting hair dye on your furniture, your pillows, your couch or wherever, especially if you're leaving it on overnight also. Wrapping it in cling film is amazing. It's really good. Another tip I have for you is don't forget to buy gloves. I am so guilty of this. So when you buy you know, tubs like this, like Manic Panic, Directions, Arctic Fox, you do not get gloves. The only time you will get a pair of gloves is with, you know, a box like this. They'll come with gloves. But if you're just buying like a standalone tub, you're not going to get gloves. And there has been many times in my life where I have, you know, been impatient and dyed my hair with no gloves and ended up with staining. I've got staining now, but that's because I've been fiddling around with these bottles. That's another thing, be prepared to have stained stuff. Your clothes might end up stained, your pillows may end up stained, you know, sometimes if the colour is very, very pigmented, it rubs off. And you could have washed the colour out as much as possible, even if your hair's dry. I don't know how it works, but I've given up on wearing white when I have funky colours like this. It's just not gonna happen. Like, the collars end up so stained. But yeah, that's the downside of having funky hair colours. You know, like, it's a bit messy, it's high maintenance, but it's fun. It's fun having funky hair. Like, why not? Go for it. So yeah, like I said, I dyed my hair earlier and I filmed myself doing so. Okay, so I'm starting off with the bright neon green side. I am using Manic Panic Electric Lizard for this side. I've parted my hair down the middle as best as I possibly can by myself. It's not exactly straight down the middle, but it will do for now. And the way I kind of dye my hair is I just slap it on. Sometimes I will darken the roots with a darker green, but for this moment in time, I am just putting on the neon green, and I'm just putting it on my hair and then giving it a little massage and working it through my hair. The key to having even hair colour is to really work it through, massaging, combing it through with your hands, and over applying it, I would say, is a good way. Like, really saturate your hair, and that gives you the best results possible. There is no such thing as too much hair dye, in my opinion, when it comes to these types of colours, the direct dyes. You're not gonna damage your hair by putting too much on or anything like that. Okay, for the blue side, I started off with Directions in Lagoon Blue, but I had a bit of an issue with that. It didn't look like it was saturating my hair so much as I would like it to. I don't know whether it was because of the lighting. Like, I had my filming lights to the left of me, so it was directly shining onto my blue side. So I switched to Crazy Colour, and the shade is Capri Blue. It's like a medium blue. It had like this metallic look to it, which was really cool. And like I did for the green side, I just really saturated the colour, really massaged it in, rubbed it in, and made sure every strand of hair had a bit of colour. I also slapped on a little bit of Crazy Colour Sky Blue just to mix it up a little bit. So once both the colours are on, I wrapped my hair with cling film. I left this dye on for I think about 2 hours before I washed it off, but you can leave these direct dyes on for as long as you want, but I left it on for 2 hours because I had some filming to do. And I rinsed out the dye with cool water, not freezing cold, just cool. There was a little bit of heat there, but not much. I still got a little bit of brain freeze, but it wasn't freezing cold. And yeah, this is how it come out. I've pretty much already talked about it, to be honest with you. I love the brightness of this side. This is a little bit too dark for me, but after like one wash, it will definitely fade out to a lighter colour. I really am enjoying having split half and half hair. I'm definitely going to be keeping the split, and I definitely think I'll be keeping this colour combination. I feel like blue and green is such a cool colour combination. So I'll be keeping that, and then I don't know what my next venture will be, to be honest. I'm just really enjoying this at the moment. So yeah, I think that's everything that I actually wanted to talk about in this video. If you have any questions whatsoever, comment down below and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. I would love to know what your favourite brand of hair dye is, whether it's, you know, direct dye or permanent dye. Like, what is your hair colour now? What is the funkiest hair colour or hair colour combination you've ever had? Have you ever had split hair dye? Have you ever had rainbow hair? Let's just talk about all things hair dye in the comment section. If you've got any tips or tricks, comment down below. I may learn some things. So let's just discuss and help each other out with our hair dye addiction. But yeah, I hope you guys are all doing very, very well, and until my next video, bye.